Yo, what's going on, desk jockeys? Eric here with the desk jockey routine that's going to cure your Neanderthal position that you got from slaving away at the office and behind the computer 9 to 5, 5 days a week. Okay, so hopefully this routine, not hopefully, but it's going to help you out if you do it consistently. Ideally, you do this routine every day and you want to throw this in either in the middle of the day or at the end. Both would be even better, but in the middle of the day would be great to break that up and just make you more aware of your posture in the latter half of the day. Okay, so you're gonna reverse the effects that have accumulated in the morning, and then you'll be more aware in the later part of the day. Then hopefully you're going home, you're working out, you're training, and you could do some of these exercises again to make sure that you're not slouching down and getting all tight and stiff. All right, so let's start this off. First up, we get the reverse lunge, reach, and twist. So it's a little sequence that I've put together that is amazing for anybody who sits too much. Okay, so here it is. First up is the reverse lunge. So you're stepping back, stay nice and tall. Good posture, getting the hip extension here. So you can see when I step back, I'm hip extended here, knee doesn't touch the ground, foot's flat, and I'm not flexed like this. This is bad, but this is what most people do, especially when they're carrying heavy weights. So that's a bad movement pattern. What you want to do is stay tall, nice and tall here. Hip extension, foot's flat, I can feel this glute firing, everything is good in the world. Next, we add the reach in. So on the way down, you reach up, both hands, try to extend your hands to the ceiling and back, and look your eyes up at your hands. Your eyes follow your hands. Inhale on the way up. The inhalation facilitates extension. Almost fell over there. Let's keep going. The inhalation facilitates spinal extension, thoracic extension to further get and reverse that bad posture. The other thing is, because your body is connected through fascia from your toe to the top of your head, when you reach and you extend through here, this gets a further stretch in the quads and the hip flexors. Okay, so part 3 of this is the twist. So you're reverse lunging, you're reaching, inhale, and then exhale and twist towards the front leg. Inhale, exhale. So I'm trying to get good core activation, trying to stay put here. I'm not letting my hip shoot out, and then I'm angling my body like that. I'm staying tall and just a nice pure rotation. You don't have to go too far. You're going to feel that in the core. Okay, inhale, exhale, like so. Okay, so here are all the major benefits of doing that exercise, doing that sequence. First of all, the basic lunge is great just for stretching out the hip flexors. When you add the extension, you're getting a further stretch on the hip flexors as well as the thoracic extension. Here is your spinal extension, upper spine. Okay, that's great. And then when you add the twist, you're getting core activation. So through the obliques, rectus abdominis, all the core muscles in the abdominal wall are activating. On top of that, because you're hanging out in that bottom position here, hopefully with the knee off the ground, you can rest it if you get a little too tired or if this is difficult for you, but try to keep your knee off the ground if you can, if you got the strength for it. When you rotate and you're doing all this other stuff, your glute on the front leg is firing like crazy. Okay, so I'm stepping back, this glute is firing like crazy. All right, glutes shut off when you sit on them all day. So that's why this sequence reverses so many of the problems associated with sitting. Okay, but we're not done there. We got 4 more exercises. So let's make our way over to the doorway, or the pseudo doorway that we're going to use for the doorway stretch. All right, now we're going to do the dynamic doorway. So some of you, if you've ever been to a physio clinic for any kind of shoulder pain or neck pain, you might have been given or prescribed the doorway stretch. But I think that stretch sucks, and here's why. When you go up, both arms up, and you try to stretch through, most people don't have the strength or the control to control their lumbar spine position, so they get thrown into extension. Okay, and this just compensates for their lack of flexibility in the shoulders, and the lack of flexibility in the shoulders probably contributed to the shoulder issues or the neck pain or whatever you went to the physio for. So when they get into this position, these muscles are so tight that the body just compensates and breaks in the spine, and it doesn't actually address this area right here that you need to address. So the dynamic doorway is going to improve that, because first of all, we're only working one side, so now it's weaker. So when we're trying to do both arms, that's a lot stronger. You need more force to get the stretch in both arms at the same time. And because when we're doing the one arm, you could really focus in on one area and controlling the rest of the body. Okay, there's not as much going on, so it's easier to focus on good form. So the dynamic doorway stretch, all you want to do is get into a doorway, door frame, arm is up, pop it up just above shoulder level. So the elbow is just above shoulder level here, you see, it's about 6 inches or so. Forearm is flat on the doorway, on the door frame. Okay, from here, all I'm going to do is keep the control in through my abs, so keep my abs on, and then open up, inhale as I open up, and then back. Okay, I'm trying to relax my shoulder as much as I can, and then just rotate. 10 reps. So with this, make sure your eyes are looking as well. I'm trying to look behind me, and that's just going to help to get more range of motion in through the spine. It's also going to stretch out some neck muscles as well. Just got to keep that neck mobile. So inhale on the way, opening up. That's going to facilitate opening the shoulders up. And then 10 reps on one side, 10 reps on the other side. I'll show you from the back here. Arms up a little bit, and see here, I'm not losing my lumbar spine into extension and compensating and creating a faulty movement pattern. Okay, the other thing this is good for, you could do this before workouts as well. When you do the normal doorway stretch, you're often prescribed hold it for 30 seconds, but this is dynamic. You're moving in, you're moving out. So that way you can do it before workouts to reposition your shoulder girdle and make sure it's in good position for whatever upper body movements you're doing, chin-ups, bench press, overhead press, whatever them might be. Okay, so let's move on to the next exercise in the desk jockey routine. Okay, so we stretched out the pecs and we mobilized the shoulders into extension here, opening up nice and tall. Now what we want to do is we want to activate those muscles in the back to actually keep this position. Because when we stretch out, that's all well and good, but if the muscles in the back aren't strong and they're not pulling your shoulders back on their own, you're just going to naturally gravitate back towards this position. So the key is stretch and then strengthen the muscles in the back so that you hold it there more naturally without conscious effort throughout the day. You're reprogramming your neuromuscular system. Okay, so you're erasing the old operating system, Windows 95, and you're throwing on Windows 7 or Mac OS X or something. All right, guys. You computer guys, a lot of desk jockeys here. Anyway, this exercise, two-way external rotation. So what this is make good fists here. I'm going to explain that in a second. You're going to have your elbows up, standing nice and tall, and you're just going to do like a row, like a wide grip row. So really squeeze the back muscles together. So the in between the shoulder blades, the rhomboids, posterior delts, all that stuff, keeping the elbows high. And then there, you're going to rotate. So each position you hold for 2 seconds, okay? And then you go forward, just release, and then elbows down here, squeeze the shoulder blades down and back tight for 2 seconds, and then rotation, and hold that position for 2 seconds. And I'm not just holding that position, but I'm actively trying to spread my hands out and get those external rotators, which are the muscles that cause this motion, and they're the muscles that cause this motion, get those muscles to really activate and fire. Because again, with rounded shoulder posture, those muscles shut off. And without those muscles working, shoulder stability is an issue, shoulder impingements are an issue, shoulder pain, neck pain, all this stuff is going to be problematic for you either now or in the future. Okay, so the external rotation, you're here, arms are parallel to the ground here. When you do the row, don't let yourself do this, the extension. You're compensating out your low back. Keep your core on. Inhale, hold it for 2 seconds, and then do the row without losing your lumbar spine here. You're keeping that core contained, keep those abs on. Okay, so the 2 second hold, that's going to be the isometric hold. That's really going to tighten those muscles up. And the fists, that's the other thing I wanted to explain to you, was when you make a fist and you make a strong fist, you make a grip, like a strong grip with your hands, that actually activates muscles in the shoulder stabilizers, because your brain, your neuromuscular system is thinking, oh, I need to grab onto something strong. I've got to hold myself up, whether I'm climbing a tree, I'm a monkey or something. Your brain's like, oh, I better get stability at all the joints. So the shoulder muscles, the stabilizers like the external rotators, they already automatically fire up, or they're primed a little bit more than if you just have loose hands like this and you're doing the exercise. Okay, so do that grip. You'll feel it for yourself, the increased activation in your shoulder girdle. So that's the third exercise. Next up, deep cervical flexors, or I like to call it the turtle. My friend Melissa taught me that one. But what you want to do is you just stand up tall. You could sit down and do it as well. But first motion is get your chin away from a finger that's coming towards you. So imagine a finger is coming towards my chin. I'm like, oh, I don't want you to touch me. Okay, so I get away. From there, the webbing in between my thumb and my index finger, push down just a little bit. Don't lose anything here. Keep your abs on a bit. And then your opposite hand, pull up and over, okay? And you're gonna hold that position for 10 seconds and do 3 repetitions. That's just gonna stretch out these deep neck flex extensor muscles here. And that's gonna help to combat the forward head posture there, all right? So it's again, turtle, push, pull. And you can feel just the lengthening and the stretching in that position, in those muscles. Okay, so 3 reps, 10 seconds of the turtle. And then the final exercise is the curious cobra. I know, funny names on these guys. So what you want to do here is get on the ground, and you're going to do a press up. And then once you're into the position here as high as you can go without really straining, and what I'm doing, I'm just pushing up with my arms. So I'm not lifting with my back, but just pushing up with my arms, pulling my shoulder blades down and back. Eyes are looking straight forward, and then drop one ear to the shoulder. Hold that for 5 seconds. Other ear to shoulder. Okay? And then release. And then you do it again. Up, drop, hold it for 5. And then release. Other side, hold it for 5. And then release and down. Okay, so you can do 3 to 5 repetitions total of the Curious Cobra. Now, this is an amazing, amazing stretch for the neck muscles, specifically a muscle called the sternocleidomastoid, or the SCM. And this muscle is a huge problem in a lot of people because of computers, because of that forward head posture. This muscle gets huge and it causes a ton of pain, either in the TMJ, in the jaw, or the neck, or even can contribute to migraines, that tension in the muscle. Massage therapists often work this area, and you'll find trigger points all up in this area. And that's from the SCM, the sternocleidomastoid, being worked too much. Because when it's in this position, it's working to make sure your head doesn't flop off, but it's not supposed to be working like that. You're supposed to be in good posture, your ears in line with the center of the shoulder, the hole in the ear in the center of the shoulder. And then no muscles have to work, because that's neutral position and the joints are stacked nicely on top of each other. So I don't need muscular effort. And the SCM can relax and just chill out and not get so tight and cause all these problems, okay? So there you have 5 exercises that are gonna combat all the negative effects of sitting and being a desk jockey. Give it a shot. Make sure you let me know how it goes. I'd love to hear your feedback, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.